Well, here we are. We have ourselves a start to another day. Of course, it's a good day as always. Sure tell, the season is winding on down. We're getting into fall. Because, well, it's no longer bright and sunny first thing in the morning. And yeah, welcome to our vlog. So, here we go. Well, last night was one of those normal nights where I had trouble sleeping. That's nothing new anymore, right? Well, of course, I was up doing a few things, editing up some new videos to come, deciding on what sites and where to post them, as well as just kind of generally monitoring the situation around the area. And, well, you hear some interesting things. Various calls, various names, various activities in my general area. It kind of makes you wonder what this world's coming to, and what some of these people are thinking, doing what they're doing. You know, there's consequences for everything. Why are they doing what they do? Are they on a self-destructive streak because, well, you know, their girlfriend's gone, the house is about to be repossessed, you know, they're overextended in debt, so why not add a 6-month jail sentence to the mix as well? Is that what some of these people are doing, you know? There are cases in the past where people will commit a non-violent small crime in the fall, get in jail for the winter, have a nice warm place to stay, and then in the summer or the spring they're out of jail again, just in time for the warm weather, so they can well, do what they want, right? You know, I understand when things start to unravel, they unravel fast and they happen quick, but at the same time, I guess coming from a clean criminal record standpoint, why give up something you worked hard to keep? However, if you don't have a clean record, then I guess there's nothing to keep, right? Well, today, as always, I got a few things I'm wanting to do. One of the big things I like to do is do the prep for the furnace replacement. I need to move or tear down a wall that's around my furnace downstairs. Way back, probably 25, maybe 30 years ago, when the basement was developed, the previous homeowners, or whoever they may have been, developed the basement and built a panel board wall around the furnace. Now, it hides the furnace, it makes it look pretty. However, for them to change it out, they need to have access to all 4 sides, so that wall has to come up and out. Now, as always, it's not a load-bearing wall, obviously, and there's no electrical in it, and it'll be nothing to take the Sawzall after it, or just a really big hammer and get her done. I know I've talked about it in previous vlogs, and it's kind of one of them projects that's on my mind. You know, if I do it and get it done in 40 below, I don't have to worry about my dinosaur of a furnace giving out on me. And if I don't do it, and I can save the money. However, just my luck in 40 below, the furnace will give out. Because I believe it was 2015 or so, and I had to put a $1,000 repair into it. And then in 2016, it was doing similar things again. So, furnaces or equipment, whatever they are, they reach a lifespan, life expectancy, and you can no longer get parts for them. And that's kind of where mine is. You know, the technicians that were working on it says that it's older than 45 years old, it's probably closer to 50 or so. So I know one thing, it doesn't fit the hole in the house that it's sitting in, so it's not the original furnace to the house. However, it wasn't a new furnace when it was installed in that spot like 30 years ago. I guess that's what happens when you buy a house that was owned by a very, very cheap person that had rental properties. He swapped around furnaces in other properties and put the one in here and used it for the next 15 or so years before he sold the house. But it is what it is, you know, get that changed out to more of an efficient model. I know with the insulation in the windows and other deficiencies in the house, a high efficiency furnace really is not going to make much of a difference in the gas bill or the heating of the house. However, again, you kind of got to have it. This is Canada. We do get nasty winters, and well, it is what it is, right? So of course I need to decide what I'm going to do. Am I going to just tear all that stuff out of there and cut it up for firewood, or store it until I need it? Because with the lack of camping trip that happened, my wood box is full. So all the clean wood that I had for the camping trip is now in the wood box. And all the dirty wood, technically, I shouldn't burn. So I can throw it in the garbage trailer and well, haul it out. So of course, guys, I'm gonna have my morning beverage, watch my normal you know, TV news and stuff, and get on with the day. Here we are, a little bit of a afternoon update. Well, of course, got downstairs, started ripping and tearing around the furnace and all that stuff. Got well, the bulk of it out of there. It's not up and out yet, but it is torn away, torn apart. It's kind of weird when you're tearing apart somebody else's work that's been there for, I don't know, 30 years or more. You get to see how cheap they were or what kind of job they did. And well, it's not surprising because, well, it's put together, framed in, however you want to call it, just like the rest of the basement was. The only difference between this piece and the rest of the basement is there's no electrical. The rest of the basement was a fire hazard because there was spliced, marretted together electrical, and it wasn't even taped or anything. Like, how cheap do you have to be not to run proper electrical wire? Obviously, the person or persons that developed that basement first, that didn't have any experience whatsoever, nor was it done properly by an actual electrician. So when it came time for me to tear it all out of there, I started in the corner just to fix some damage that was there. And by the time I was able to tear it back sufficiently enough to get at the damaged section, I ended up tearing off a good quarter of the room. And then once I started to find the bad electrical, I just kept on going, right? Then next thing you know, you're standing in a pile of lumber that used to be your basement, but the only thing you really gained was you made it safer by getting rid of the bad electrical before it could start a fire. Yeah, it's kind of amazing that in 20 years or 30 years that that basement was down there, that it didn't start a fire. I guess sometimes people are lucky. It all depends too on the amount of draw, like current load, there is on the lines too. You know, if you got a lot of stuff plugged in there, there'll be heat generated from, well, the electrical demand, and when there's heat generated, that's when you could have issues. And if there's nothing plugged in down there, which there wasn't, then the electrical demand is next to nothing. Well, this time around, like I said, there was no electrical, no plumbing to deal with, so it was just a pretty much straightforward, make a few cuts, you know, grab and pull where you wanna, and around you go. So now, of course, I gotta haul all that lumber and stuff up and out. I think I'm gonna take my fence section down, back my garbage trailer right up on the lawn here, and I'll fill her full. Some of the 2x4s or 2x2s, I guess, that are coming out there are a little bit too big to fit in the trailer. However, I think I can either break them in half or cut them in half with my saw and make them fit. It's kind of neat to get back working with your hands. You know, the last project I did was in 2015, spring of 2016, when I did the basement project there, and even the deck was in the spring of 2015. So it's been a couple of years since there's been any real big project going on. And even this project here won't really be a project that I'll do. Like I said, it's a higher done project, get her done professionally, and then it's installed properly. You won't end up with another half installed furnace like this one is. It'll have proper install and all that good stuff. But pretty much, guys, you guessed her. I'm gonna go back inside, probably take a breather for a bit, decide if I'm gonna clean that mess up now or leave it for tomorrow. But whatever is, and around we go. Well, here we are. We come to the end of another day. Well, I'd like to thank my new followers, those that have subscribed and joined up, those that have, well, made the effort to watch my videos. You know how everything tends to grow. The more people that watch our videos, then the more motivation there is to make new content and all that good stuff. The more motivation there is to put the videos that you have sitting there in your to be uploaded folder on for viewing. It's kind of one of them things. You kind of tend to get in a bit of a rut once in a while on content and what to film, what to do, what not to do, and sometimes you gotta step back for a bit, regroup your mind, straighten out your thoughts, and kind of carry on, right? If you don't, you end up doing something that you'll regret at a later date. You know, after, well, 7 years and pretty much 3,000 videos, things kind of can get a little bit messed up. You know, kind of thinking what would happen if life without making videos, life without making content. I've done it for so long that it becomes natural to have a camera with you. I go to the city, I bring a camera with me. I go to an event, a family function, even a doctor's appointment, I have a camera with me. And when I don't bring a camera, it feels foreign. It feels weird, you know. Even when I'm camping, I have a camera with me. Even if I don't shoot any video that whole weekend, it is still there. It's kind of one of them things that you become accustomed to over the last years, and when it's not in your pocket or close at hand, then it's odd, right? Well, today was a good day. Got a few things done. Got the bulk of the furnace project demo done. There is still a shelf that I have to tear out of there to make room for the hot water heater, or the new hot water heater, to go, because it's going to be again one of them newer direct vents right out the wall of the house. Then that way there's no messing with the chimney or anything like that. I gotta decide if I want to mount it directly to the concrete or on a chunk of plywood or what. Or if I want to go through the expense at this time of studding up, framing, drywalling, insulating, all that good stuff, a little, you know, 8x8 wall section for it to hang on. I know I probably should tackle the other half of the basement this winter as a winter project. However, that might be next year's project, but in the meantime, we need that hot water heater hung. So of course, there always is the cleanup and all that good stuff down there. Get some of them loose ends tied up. Once the loose ends are tied up, I can call the furnace people to come do their job or do what, you know, I need them to do. There's going to be some copper coming out of the house, unfortunately. Even though the copper pipe is about 10 years old, it still needs to be changed out to make room for the new hot water heater, which is another reason why I really don't want to change it out at this time. But you got the money now to do it, you got the time now to get it done, and I guess now's the time to do it, right? If you hesitate, in a couple of years when the new hot water heater starts leaking, the one that I replaced, you're gonna wish you had changed it out, because you may not have the money then to do it. But guys, remember, we do have a post office box for all your fan mail needs. The address is down in the description. If you send me a letter, I will send you one back. If you send me a decal, I will send you one back as well. If you do send me a letter, make sure there is a clear address as well as a postal or zip code, because unfortunately the postal system doesn't guess when it comes to those kind of things. If we don't have the proper info, then they won't send it away. But thanks for watching this here vlog, and as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's vlog. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.